Hi, today I'll be reviewing the S50 4G router by MTN, and if you're in the market for this router, you might want to watch this video to the end so you know if you want to still go for this router or not. Using up well over 500 gigabytes on this thing, I feel like I can give my honest review on this guy. But before moving on, please hit the like button and subscribe so you can keep getting more honest reviews like this one. First and foremost, to begin with, this router is a really reliable router, and if you really want to pick this up, make sure you're picking up S50. I learned that there's S20 also, which is a little bit smaller than this, but the S20 is not dual channel. This S50 is a dual channel broadband, and what that simply means is it has a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz connection. Without going into too much technicalities, the basic difference between a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz connection simply is 2.4 gigahertz could actually travel really far. That means you can stay connected to the 2.4 gigahertz connection and go really far from your router, and you can still stay connected and still browse. But then, because everybody wants something that's consistent and that reliable, the network is mostly congested, and of course that comes with a slower browsing speed because a lot of people are on it. But the 5 gigahertz on the other hand has fewer users because it doesn't travel far. That's its downside. But when it comes to browsing and downloading, that's what I'd advise you to always stay connected to, because it's a lot more reliable when it comes to downloading. And that's the basic difference between both connections. And moving on, something I wish this router had was maybe a switch to turn off the wireless connection, because I'm always using the RJ45 connection on this thing with my computer, and because I just find that more convenient. I don't know. And yeah, because if I'm not using the wireless connection, especially when it's not plugged in like this battery really doesn't last for very long. And the wireless connection, of course, would also use up the battery. So I wish I could actually turn that off, maybe a switch somewhere. That might be something MTN might want to introduce in future generation of this router. And also with the battery pack, I initially thought this was a power bank, but unfortunately it's not a power bank, it's a battery pack. And it also has this really old connection. I mean, this thing is way old at this point. I mean, the world is moving to USB-C, and MTN or ZLT has refused to move to even micro USB. So that's something they might want to consider. And also making this an actual power bank, because every household nowadays has a power bank. I mean, practically everybody. And because this guy doesn't charge for so long, if there's no power supply, using this for long hours would not really work, because I mean, it practically would go off. So let's try and introduce that, making this an actual power bank. So when this one completely dies off, I could just plug in my regular power bank and use it, And I remember picking this up for the first time, I think about 2 weeks or thereabout of owning it. I realized the battery really doesn't last long. So I thought I had a faulty battery. So I emailed MTN faulty customer care line, and after a couple of weeks, I got an email back that my device is no longer covered by warranty. And it was really funny to me because this device was roughly 2 to 3 weeks old. I was like, not a problem. Now I was curious. I want to know, how long does your warranty covers the device for? And after a couple of days, I think, I got another email that the path that I was requesting for a replacement for is not covered by the warranty. This battery pack, it literally comes in the MTN case. And I was really surprised, like, how does that really make sense? MTN, please make that make sense. It was really funny to me, I wouldn't lie. Why would the warranty cover only the router maybe and not cover the battery pack? I didn't buy this separately, so I don't understand. Anyways, I was like, not a problem. So I said, okay, let me go check external stores if I could get this battery pack to buy. I was willing to spend somewhere between 5 and 10,000. I mean, I bought this router, the entire thing, for 25,000. So I wasn't willing to spend more than that. And I saw most stores sold this thing, the list was 15k. I was like, it doesn't really make sense. Why would I want to buy just this one for 15,000 when I could get the entire router plus 120 gigs free data for 1 month for 25,000? It really didn't make any sense to me. But so that is something you might want to have in mind when you pick this for the first time. Kindly charge it for hours, if not the entire day. Make sure the charging light, which is the top one, goes off. That's when you know that, okay, the battery is fully charged. Otherwise, you might start running into battery problems sooner than you would like, honestly. And another thing I wish MTN improved on was the charger. The charger is really slow. I mean, if this battery runs down completely to 0, for it to charge all back to be blue, because when the battery runs down, it turns red and goes off completely. That's when the battery is dead completely. That charger is really slow, like extremely slow. I don't know what was the idea behind it. And another annoying thing I just remembered now is this guy doesn't charge unless it's on. So I don't know, maybe the intention intention was to make this router a plug and use router and not really have an external battery pack, because I do not understand why I would have to keep my router on just for it to charge. I mean, it doesn't really make sense now. Come on, MTN. So that is something they might want to consider moving forward. So yeah, all in all, so for you who is intending to get a router, or you might want to consider picking up this router, make sure you get this router from an MTN office and not from the retail stores. That's that for that, I guess. If something else comes up, I'll let you know. But for right now, that's all. Thank you for watching to thus far. Please hit the like button, subscribe, so that we can keep growing and we can keep making these videos for you.